Good morning, everybody. First of all, happy 4th of July. And it's a day where we all should at least pause for a moment to be thankful that we live in a country, the United States of America, where we have so many freedoms and so many privileges. And one of those, amongst so many, are the fact that we can enjoy the national pastime on July the 4th, and we can talk about it on Lenny Milnick, FantasySports.com, Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. Good morning, everybody. Lenny's not going to be on today, so I'm on, and it's great to be with you. And Charlie is already with me. I hope there are a lot of you in the chat room this morning, and I look forward to sharing and getting ready to talk about a lot of baseball. There is a lot to talk about. And I guess where we can start, well, we can start with games from last night. How about that? A lot of box scores to go over, so I guess it's time to get started with them.
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu goes 2 for 5 last night. He raises his season leading American League average to 342. Aaron Judge went 1 for 5. Hit his third double of the year. Aaron Hicks 1 for 4. A great catch in center field. I know fantasy doesn't credit defense, but he went back on a ball that was by Dominic Smith, deep center field, jumped. It would have been a home run had he not caught it. He saved that run. Big play last night in the game. Gleyber Torres went 2 for 4. He had 2 RBIs. He's now hitting 298 on the year. Gregorius, a homer off of Vargas. He went 2 for 4. He's at 312. Urshela, what a game. He had great plays in the field. Backhanded stabs at third, throwing across his body. He hit a home run. He limped around the bases. It was like on July the 4th. Here it is, a battle hero, right? He went 2 for 3 last night with that homer. He's now hitting 307. So it was a great offensive display for the Yankees. Domingo Germán off the IL, pitched 6 innings, gave up only 1 earned run, walked no one, struck out 6. He did give up a home run to McNeil in the first inning, but after that he settled down and pitched a great game. Chad Green came in, pitched the 7th and 8th. No runs allowed, 4 strikeouts, and Cortez came in and closed out the game with a perfect 9th inning. For the Mets, McNeil went 1 for 4 with that home run. As I said, he's now hitting 349 at the top of that Mets order. And McNeil's just having a fabulous season, great contact. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but McNeil has a bat with no knob on it. It's really awesome. It's like a broom handle. But that's a magic broom because he's hitting 349 and, of course, homered off of Germán last night. Alonso went 2 for 4. He's now hitting 278 on the year. He hit his 20th double last night off of Germán. Ramos went 2 for 4 as well. Final score from Queens was 5-1. Jason Vargas, the loser, 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 3 runs, struck out 6, but the Mets just didn't have any offense last night and no answer for Germán. And Detroit and Chicago played 2 yesterday. In the first game, Dylan Cease. Yeah, how about a rookie pitcher? A rookie is a rookie is a rookie, and he looked like a rookie. 5 innings, he was wild, he was high in the zone, but he did strike out 6 batters, and he did get the win as the White Sox win Game 1, 7-5. They sweep the series. They win Game 2, 9-6. And in Game 2, more hitting. Goodrum went 2 for 5 for Detroit. Castellanos, what a day yesterday. The second game, he went 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs. Miguel Cabrera went 2 for 5. Hicks, for playing first base, went 2 for 5. For the White Sox in Game 2, Lourdes Garcia now playing shortstop. Tim Anderson on the IL for an indefinite period of time. And Garcia will have outfield shortstop eligibility if he doesn't already. He went 3 for 6 in Game 2. Moncada went 2 for 5, 3 RBIs. He had 2 home runs. He now has 16 home runs on the year. What a season. He's hitting 305. The move to third base, the adjustments he's made at the plate. Great season. Abreu, 2 for 6, 3 RBIs. Just another great game for Abreu. He's hitting 272 on the year. Cordell played in center field, went 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. He hit a home run as well. In fact, he hit 2 home runs in the nightcap. Pitching-wise, not so much, but it wasn't as bad as you think from the starters. The bullpen didn't do much to help. Alexander started the game for Detroit, went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Detweiler, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Ruiz got the win as it was a last inning heroic for the Detroit Tigers, winning that game in, that game went 12 innings, 9-6 last night in Chicago. The Miami Marlins were in Washington taking on the Nationals last night. Washington wins 3-1. What a game from Steven Strasburg. 7 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 14 strikeouts. He's now 10-4 on the year. 3.64 ERA. Rodney came on in the 8th, got his first hold, and Doolittle likes to make things really interesting, doesn't he? But he did pitch the 9th. He gave up 3 hits, gave up a run, struck out 2, got his 19th save. Like I said, Washington wins 3-1. Batting, Turner went 2 for 4. Soto 1 for 3. Matt Adams homered. He has now 13 home runs on the year. He homered off Wei-Yin Chen in the 8th inning last night. Dozier homered. He went 2 for 3. Dozier doubled also. Maybe he's heating up. He's got that average up a little bit to 234, but he did go 2 for 3. And the Nationals had 7 hits overall. For the Marlins, only 6 hits. Rojas leading off, doing a great job. He's a singles hitter kind of guy, but he's hitting 297 at the top of their order. He went 2 for 4 last night. Walker went 1 for 4. Castro 1 for 4. Not a lot of offense last night. It was a night for Steven Strasburg. Again, 14 strikeouts against the Fish last night in Washington. The Cubs, they were in Pittsburgh. Wow. Bad night for Kimbrel. Horrible night for Kimbrel. He came in the 9th inning, gave up 2 earned runs. Pittsburgh with the walk-off, winning 6-5. For the Pirates, Frazier continued to hit. He went 1 for 4. He's been on a streak of late. Starling Marte went 3 for 4. Josh Bell, if you've heard that name before a few times, his 26th homer. He hit that one in the 6th inning off of Yu Darvish with 1 out. He went 2 for 4 last night with 2 RBIs. He's at 309 on the year. Wow. He now has 80, that's right, 80 RBIs on the season. No way I'm trading Josh Bell. He's, of course, well, maybe there is a way, but I will say this. He is driving in runs. He is having a breakout year and should Josh Bell in fantasy, then you cash in because you should be able to claim a lot. Now, the question is, if we were redrafting today, my question is, why wouldn't Josh Bell be a first-round pick? Because he should be, numbers-wise. I mean, fantasy is on numbers, right? 2 for 4 last night, another home run, 80 RBIs on the year. Wow. And that, of course, was his 26th home run. I think I said that already. Melky Cabrera went 3 for 4. Quietly, Melky Cabrera, hitting his 5th home run last night, is hitting 314 on the season. Certainly not the young, spry runner that he was when he came up with the Yankees, but he can hit, and he drove in 2 last night. Just someone to keep your eye on. If you are in a deep National League league, he's worth a flyer. Love him. For the Cubs, Javi Baez, as I said earlier, Sonny and Cher, the beat goes on, 3 for 5. And he hit his 22nd home run last night on the season. Baez now has 58 RBIs as well. Contreras went 2 for 4, and they played him in right field last night. And what the box score doesn't show, fly ball hit in the 9th inning off of Kimbrel that, well, a good right fielder probably would have caught. Contreras is a catcher by trade and not a good right fielder by trade. He did not catch it. It opened up the floodgates. Certainly Kimbrel could have pitched better, but he also could have had a little better assistance in the outfield. But Contreras did go 2 for 4. He's hitting 287 on the year. Caratini homered. He went 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. What a great backup. 298 average. Caratini's been playing a little bit more of late. He had those 2 home runs last night. He now has 4 on the year. Look for him to play a little bit more. And if Contreras could play the outfield a little more adequately, and I wonder, maybe the Cubs could put him in left field. Left field's a little easier to play than right field. So I guess you'd have to say maybe Schwarber could be traded. He went 0 for 4 last night. He's only hitting 230. If the Cubs could unload Schwarber, maybe they could play Contreras more in the outfield and Caratini could get more at bats. Certainly, he's been hitting lately. Pitching-wise, last night in that game, Darvish went 6 2/3, gave up 4 earned, no walks, struck out 6, but he did give up 2 long balls, as I told you, to Melky Cabrera and to Josh Bell. Kinsler got his 10th hold. Strop got his 2nd hold. Kimbrel got the loss and a blown save. Not a good night in fantasy, and I do own him in one of my leagues. It is not a good pitching week for me in that league, I can tell you. But that's the nature of 2019. It's just not a good year for pitching, is it? For Pittsburgh, Archer went 5 innings, gave up 3 earned, struck out 8. Not a bad outing. Liriano blew the save, gave up 2 runs in the 7th inning. But the Pirates hold on with that big 9th inning and beat the Cubs 6-5. At Rogers Center, Toronto beats the Red Sox 6-3 last night. Phelps was the opener. Wakapasic came in and pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 earned, struck out 4, and picked up the win. Giles, his 13th save. Chris Sale started for Boston and is the loser. 5 2/3 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, only struck out 5. And he gave up 3 home runs to Gurriel, Jansen, and Drury. For Toronto, Galvis went 3 for 3, and I said it on my show on Tuesday. I'll say it again today. It's time for Toronto to shop for Eddie Galvis if they're not already. He cannot be any hotter. Earlier this week, he hit 2 home runs in a game against Kansas City. Last night, he went 3 for 3. They've got a kid down in the farm we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Galvis hitting 271 on the year. Is there a team that needs a shortstop? Just wondering. Lourdes Gurriel, come on. Are you kidding me? Another home run. He's at 311. Seems like he gets hits every day. And he homered last night off none other than Chris Sale. Biggio went hitless. Grichuk went hitless. Tellez went 2 for 3. Danny Jansen homered 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He's been hitting well of late. And Brandon Drury went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. For the visiting Red Sox, Mookie Betts just not having that kind of year, is he? 265 average. He went 1 for 3 last night. Vasquez went 2 for 4. He's now at 300 on the year. Boston lost in Toronto. Those are games they need to win, especially when Chris Sale is the guy on the mound, right? Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark beats the Brewers, not in a slugfest. A pitcher's duel. Yeah, 3-0. What a night for Sonny Gray. Yeah, 8 innings pitched. Only 4 hits, struck out 12 Milwaukee Brewers. And Iglesias came on in the 9th in the role that he likes, I guess. Struck out a batter, got his 15th save. The Brewers, Chacin started. He's now 3-9 with the loss. 6 innings, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts. Not a bad line. Jeffress pitched the 7th. Wilkerson pitched the 8th. For the Brewers, only 4 hits on the night. And they were all singles. Kane, Thames, Gamble, Saladino. Those were the hits. 13 strikeouts for the Brewers. For Cincinnati, Votto 1 for 3. Suarez 1 for 4. 4-game hit streak. Puig